Welcome to WrestleRecap. I am Dylan Graives, once again being joined by John Sutton, here to bring you our recap, reaction. It's an extras video. This one is on the WrestleMania 40 documentary. Before we get into it though, if you want to support WrestleRecap, you can like, share, and subscribe. You can comment down below and let us know how we're doing. But with that being said, let's get into it. The meeting that they show at the start, it shows, I just noticed on the whiteboard behind it had talent off days as well as MLB dates on it. And it's like, this is just a glimpse into what they have to consider with each show, because they don't want to have a major return or debut happen at the same time that something important is going on with one of the big four.
I thought it said MLB title run or something like that. I was like, what the hell?
Well, I think it was like MLB like game dates, because that's February. No, I don't know when that I guess I don't know when that meeting would have been. They didn't really tell us, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. I tried looking at it. I could have paused it, but I didn't.
We get a quick recap of Cody's journey to finishing the story. And they tell us that the original plan was for Cody to stay hot all year and then run back the Mania 39 match with Roman at 40. But then they thought it was better to try and tell the Roman versus Rock story instead. L.
Well, they didn't know how long Cody was going to stay hot for. That's why. They didn't know if it could sustain a whole year.
I would bet that they could have ran it for a third year before people would have given up.
Maybe, but no one really knows. I mean, if I was in that position, I think we would have got lucky if we were in our second year and he was still hot. Because like he said in the documentary, a lot of people lose steam quick.
Yeah, but Cody stayed hot. If you book people right, like if you put in the work to make someone at Cody's level stay hot, they'll stay hot. You just got to give them the storylines to do it.
Yeah, I was just kind of giving examples, but like a fail-safe for them. If it didn't work out, they had the Rock story anyway, so.
And now we still have that story to be told, but we've gained another. So see?
Yeah.
It's a win-win. But apparently they thought it was time to tell this story after the Endeavor purchase and formation of TKO. Then we hear from The Rock, and he says that Rock versus Roman at 39 was locked, but they just couldn't make it happen. So it wasn't locked.
There's probably writing issues with it.
I would imagine scheduling issues.
I don't know. They don't really go too deep into that.
Right. He mentions that 40 would be a possibility. And then based on the reaction that he got when he returned on SmackDown, they thought they knew the way. They did not.
You did not know the way.
No. But the return on SmackDown went so well that they tested it again on Monday Night Raw Day 1. And I noted they were showing on like The Rock touring the WWE headquarters after becoming a TKO board member. Kind of wild that that's something that he hadn't done before.
It was a he who shall not be named empire at that point.
Yeah, but
Still,
still, I mean, the headquarters should remain relatively the same.
you really want to go and see that man?
No, but it's wild that The Rock wouldn't have toured the place before this.
Even was it Seth got there before he did?
Yeah.
Yeah, for his WrestleMania match or whatever.
Yep. They talked to Cody at the Rumble about the possibility of them going with Rock versus Roman, and then they had Cody win the Rumble in order to gauge the reaction to determine the route that they wanted to go. So, at the Rumble, they were basically like, "You're gonna win, but we don't know what we're gonna do. Just go do that.
It's
We'll
been
see
a
what
bunch of
happens."
feelers so far.
Yeah, it was just a whole lot of feeling it all out.
They did luck out though with him winning the Rumble though.
Well, yeah, that was the plan, was for him to win the Rumble.
I know, but had they gone on and did the Rock thing and Punk wasn't injured,
Right. So they also told us that Punk was supposed to face Rollins at 40 for the World Heavyweight Championship, which that would have been a good match. And I'm glad that that rivalry is once again being revisited now that Punk has screwed Rollins out of championship opportunities for Check's Watch the next like 3 weeks.
yeah,
But obviously it's going to be made out to be such a much bigger deal, but there's no way that Gunther loses.
if he does, we riot.
Man, I just cannot see them having him lose.
Pretty sure we said the same thing about Braun Breaker, and here we are.
Yeah, but Braun was still new, and Braun has taken like indirect losses, whereas Gunther has only lost 3 times.
Where has Gunther been since WrestleMania? Did he just take
Just
time
big
off or
chilling.
what?
He's just big chilling,
Well,
doing
I
his
guess he
thing.
did King and Queen of the Ring, but
Yeah,
ever since then he's been nowhere.
you don't have to be.
Figured be making some kind of promo. But
What does he need to say? He's got a
Beck's
championship match at SummerSlam. He came
just
out.
calling his shots.
He did. He came out before the Money in the Bank match between Seth and Priest, and he told them that may the better man win, because at SummerSlam, something like the better man between them will be the lesser man to him.
Oh, I don't know.
But then we see Cody, and it doesn't seem like he was a fan of the initial pivot to have him take on Seth and have The Rock take on Roman. So they have Cody give the go-ahead to Rock, and the main event was set: Rock versus Roman. And then we hear we see Cody again, and we can tell that he's definitely not a fan of this pivot that they've made.
He definitely looked like he was going down a dark path after he felt like they had no faith in him.
Well, and I wonder how much of this documentary was filmed after WrestleMania even happened. Because this documentary was supposed to air the Wednesday after WrestleMania, and now we're 3 months later finally having it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a lot of stuff to sift through.
I mean, clearly they had to do some rewrites. But
Yeah, probably.
we're told that they wanted to see the fan reaction before locking the main event in, though. But the plan was to go Rock versus Roman and Cody versus Seth. But then something, what's a good
Magical happened.
sure, we'll go with magical. And the fan backlash had hashtag We Want Cody trending for 72 hours, which forced them to pivot again.
Pivot! Pivot!
Following this, the crowd hijacked Raw as well, with chants of We Want Cody and Rocky Sucks. And then we hear
I
from
remember that.
Yeah. And then we hear from The Rock. And yeah, of course he would take credit for being the one to say, "Hey, maybe we don't do this now." Of course he'd have to take credit for that.
Yep.
But,
He's the one with the good ideas, but when a bad idea happens, it's somebody else's fault.
yep. Yep. But so they finally make it official at the WrestleMania 40 press conference with the slap heard around the world. And The Rock tells us that the final boss is Rock 10.0. I mean, he could have just said that it was The Rock turned up to 10. What the hell is 10.0? He hasn't had
His
10
10th
different
version.
He
It's
hasn't
his
had
final
10
form.
different versions.
It's his final form.
Is this like Super Saiyan 4?
Yep.
We then see like the planning around Rock's entrance, and I noted that seeing the planning that goes into entrances, or specifically the Rock's final boss entrance, to me it was pretty cool to see that. And we hear from Cody. He says that if he didn't have the connection to the fans that he does, the main event would have been Rock versus Roman. And he says that that's why he always stays behind, making sure that every fan gets their autographs and whatnot. Oh, we then...
Not every fan.
Well, not every fan, but...
Most of them.
You know, the ones down in front that are not in the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
We then get a video package for night 1. Following the video package, we get some behind the scenes of prepping for night 2, as well as a video package of night 2 and the Avengers assembling. I still can't believe that we didn't get to see LA Knight fly through a portal on a giant Slim Jim.
Yeah.
And I've said it before and I'll say it again. When the Shield's music hit, there was absolutely a part of me that thought they pulled off getting Moxley to show up as Ambrose.
And then you see Seth Rollins hobble his way to the ring.
Yeah, just to get put down right away.
Like the dog he is.
Well, Roman's the dog. He's the big dog. And Braun Breaker's the dog-faced gremlin.
Yep. I was just going to say that.
Beat you to it. I also noted that them not being able to come to terms on money with Stone Cold is a real shame. Like, whatever he wanted, they should have paid him, because it would have made far more sense for the glass to shatter rather than have the gong toll. And the fact that a multi-billion-dollar company with record profits weren't willing to give 100% for this.
On the biggest stage that they've ever had.
On their biggest show in history, and they're only willing to go, say, 98%. Ridiculous.
Should have just had Vince McMahon walk down there.
Who?
He who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Who else rivaled with The Rock? Triple H technically, but he's got a pacemaker, and so he legitimately can't.
Yeah. Oh, I also got on here that Cody winning still gives me goosebumps, and the planted seed of Rock versus Cody that will happen, as well as Rock versus Roman, has set them up with long-term storytelling for years to come. Because obviously we're going to get Rock versus Roman probably at 41, and then maybe at 42 we get Cody versus The Rock.
If he doesn't have a match before that.
I mean, I feel like they're going to want to save that for Mania.
I don't know. Well, I mean, Survivor Series, Rock could show up
That
too.
that don't matter. I'm talking a one-on-one match. Survivor Series would be the good bloodline versus bad bloodline.
I guess so. I don't know. They could also do a SummerSlam match too. Not this year, obviously, but
See, and I still think that they would want to go. I think they want that for Mania. It's hard to say. Like I said, I think that they want that for Mania. But yeah, they could very well run that at SummerSlam. Maybe they give that to. Well, let's see. Next year would be 2025. Maybe they put that in. No, it would have to go past Mania 42. I was going to say maybe they give Minneapolis that for the first 2-night SummerSlam. But it would make more sense just to run it at 42 then.
yeah.
Overall, it was an interesting documentary. Fairly predictable in assuming that The Rock was going to take credit for being the mastermind behind calling the audible.
Yeah. I wish there was just more backstage stuff that you got to see instead of just little snippets of it, I guess.
See, and there's a lot of people that would disagree with you on that because that kills kayfabe.
No, but I like to see how it's set up.
Oh, I do too. I'm just saying that there are a lot of
I get
people
they
in
have
the
to
fan
watch the
base.
younger they have to watch the younger crowd.
Well, it's not necessarily that. It's just the people that don't want to see the behind the scenes thing because it makes it harder to have the suspension of disbelief when you're watching the actual product.
That's just like a comment I saw about how wrestling's become stupid or something. One big wrestler, I can't remember who. To go, this is dumb. I can't believe people watch this. Blah blah blah. And people are like, okay, so then stop watching. Let the people who like it watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you like it, watch it. If you don't like it, don't complain about it that you force yourself to watch it because that means you must like it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're watching it because you want to watch it.
You're not gonna try. Yeah, I've watched WWE the last 2 years and it sucked. Has it though? It's kept you the last 2 years.
I mean, I don't think anybody's saying that about the last 2 years that we've actually just
No,
had.
but I'm just saying as an example. Or I don't like the Bears because they sucked the last 2 years.
Show me the lie.
But you still watch them? Yeah. Okay, well then, be quiet and
I mean,
don't bring your
critiquing them,
negativity in here.
just because you're watching doesn't mean you can't critique. That's literally what we do, is we critique it.
But I'm not sitting here every week saying that it's bad every
No.
week. That's what I'm getting at. Like, there's people out here who every week are like, this show sucks. Well, then stop watching it. And the other thing too is you have to have realistic expectations about shows. Like not every Raw or SmackDown is gonna be a banger. You're
After
gonna have
banger.
you're gonna have shows that, are not the most exciting, but you still can come away with some positive.
Right. Um, there's no off season, so it has to get boring at some point.
Just like they ended in the documentary. He only gets 8 hours of vacation. It's back to it,
Yeah.
which was crazy to think about because, WrestleMania is kind of like the big hoorah end of the year kind of deal, and then it's right back into it, and you're like, dang, that's just like a 9 to 5
Yeah.
job right there, my boy.
The the off season lasts exactly like 8 hours.
Just enough time to sleep.
Yep. That concludes this recap and review extras thing, whatever you want to consider it. Once again, I've been Dylan Graves. He's been John Sutton. This has been Wrestle Recap. And if you want to support Wrestle Recap, you can like, share, and subscribe. You can comment down below and let us know how we're doing. But until next time, goodbye.